So here is a video to explain to new faculty who are teaching online courses for the first time, just to kind of explain how to import information and how to begin modifying some of the information on my courses. Okay, so I'm going to first go to Moodle or My Courses. And so you're going to click on the online course that you are teaching. Okay, so we have shells built, so like Math 0001 shell, Math 1020 shell. These are shells that are imported by faculty to help build their online class. These shells should not be modified and should not be used, only used to import from. Once you import the information, you should only modify in your class. Okay, do not modify inside the shell. And so basically I'm going to go to a course, any course that I choose. So I'm going to go to this one here. And so let's say I want to import from the 1015 shell, right? This is a 1015 course. And I want to import from the shell. So you would go here to the gear at the top right, and you would go to import. And if I have to add you to the shell, but once I add you, you can go down to the bottom and search Math 1015. Let's see if this works. Shell. So there we go. You click on that and press continue. And so you can leave all that checked if you want, and then you can press jump to the final step. And it's going to just take all the information from the shell and it's going to import it into your current online course. Okay, so that's how you import. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is to start editing and modifying the shell. So I'm going to go to my 0001 class. So when you import it, the shell is going to look like this. Obviously, it's going to have information that doesn't pertain to you. So you're going to have to go in and basically read everything in the shell and make sure that you modify everything. It's not super difficult. You just have to play around with it. So like here, the first page is announcements and ask your instructor. So like here, you would want to modify these office hours, right, to match your office hours. So you would just press edit section, right? And you would go in and modify, you know, the office hours that match up to yours. Okay, so that's easy enough. The main place that you're going to be editing is under the Start Here tab. That's really where all the information is found. So you click on the Start Here tab, and so you want to edit this. Okay, so I forgot this information here. When you import, it's going to have information that is not accurate for the students. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you see the eyeball here, you're going to want to click hide this. So it's going to hide it from the students. It says not published to students. You want to go through each of these and you want to hide the module. So all of them should say not published to students, okay? Do that for all of them. So that way the students cannot see the inaccurate information, or at least at minimum, do it to the Start Here tab, because that is where it has all of the instructor information, all the information about Mymathlab, and you don't want the students to start reading through information that's not accurate. So please make sure you hide the sections. So I'm going to go ahead and unhide them here. Okay, so to edit this, okay, you just go down here, edit the section, and you go in and modify things. You can put a picture if you want. You don't have to. Obviously, you're not going to leave it as Elizabeth Featuring. You'll put your name. You put your email. Okay. To show you how to link an email, by the way, obviously you type in the email address, right? But to actually link it, so I'm going to type it in. You would highlight it here. Go to the link button. And then type in mail to @lsu.edu. Okay, and you can press create link. So it'll actually link it. So like the student clicks on that, it'll go to your email. Okay, so you want to make sure you link it to your email. Okay, so the main tab that you're going to be updating, you just go through everything, read everything. If you are teaching an LSU online course, which would be section L, then you must include this information. If you are not teaching an LSU online course, so if it's like section 25 or 26, then just delete this, don't worry about it, okay? This is not important, you can just ignore that. And so this is all where you're gonna modify. See this, we call it a course syllabus book. Basically, you're gonna modify. You're gonna go through each one of these tabs here, every single tab, and you're gonna just read through. Some of the tabs you're not gonna need to modify, okay? So like assistance and communication, course objectives and learning outcomes, you probably won't need to modify that. But like, so let me just show you an example. Click on that. And it's gonna say turn editing on. You're gonna click on that. And so see, here is how you edit each of these tabs. So here's the little turning gear. You would wanna click on that and start editing. So like here, this would wanna be updated. You wanna update that to your name, your office number, your office location. So once you click on this little turning gear, it's going to open up this and you just go in and start editing, right? You just go in and modify anything that's not your information, you need to modify it, okay? You need to match it to your course. So like Mymathlab, that's one you're definitely gonna have to edit. So when you go to edit this, right, you're going to want to update this PDF to include information that pertains to your class, because this is my course, okay, one of my old classes. You're going to want to put your course ID for Mymathlab, right? And you just read through everything. And if it does not pertain to your course, you need to update it so it pertains to your course. Take the time to read everything. And so mainly the class policy book, this whole book here is what you're going to be modifying. Proctoring services, for the most part, most faculty allow students to use the LSU testing center, but for proctoring you have either ProctorU or the LSU testing center. ProctorU is required. We have to use ProctorU, okay? LSU testing center is much easier for students, so I use it for all of my classes. They can choose ProctorU or the testing center on campus. And so you read through all this. Most of it's pretty generic. But like one place where you may want to modify something is your, so here's like the grading scale. You may want to change something there. I have a generic grading scale. You want to make sure that this grading scale matches what is on Mymathlab. That is your responsibility when you set it up. So now I currently have the homework set at 100 points. There are 4 tests, 100 points each, and the final is 200 points. If you want to change that and you want your final to be 30%, you can change this information if you would like. Most people leave it alone, but your job is to make sure that what's here matches with what is on Mymathlab. So you need to set up your Mymathlab gradebook to match this. So the main thing you're going to have to modify if you go into due dates here, obviously these due dates are from the fall. So you're going to want to go in and edit this table. Click on the little editing gear and you're going to want to go in and change this. If you want to do weekly due dates and every Friday you have an assignment close, a set of assignments close for developmental, that might work better. You have that option. This is where academic freedom comes in. You can change this somewhat and play around with it if you want to do, every Sunday an assignment closes. However you want to do it. You can change this, and you obviously have to change these due dates because these are old due dates from a previous, but these assignments should be correct in what we are actually covering now. There are 4 tests currently on Mymathlab for this course, but like I said, if for some reason you really want to change that, you can, but most faculty leave the test and the final you cannot change, but you can modify things if you really want. But for the most part, update the due dates and leave the rest alone. So this incomplete work, this is your academic freedom here, your makeup policy, okay? That is up to you. So you need to make sure that this policy, once you read through it, is what you want. If it's not what you want, then change it. If you want to allow makeups, you can allow makeups. I don't. I basically say a student's allowed to miss 1 exam for any reason. I use the final to replace that exam. Any other missed exams, they receive a 0. All homework assignments that are late will be recorded as a 0. That's my policy for online courses. And basically you go through each of these tabs and modify. And that is really all there is to it. Then you have to set up Mymathlab. You have to go in and modify due dates on Mymathlab to match what you put on My Courses. And then you have to go to Proctoring and the LSUE Testing Center and add those exams and those due dates so the students can start signing up for a test, okay? So like basically if you open up one of these modules, here's where students like can watch videos and things like that. They can also watch them on Mymathlab as well. So like here's section 15.1, right? If they click here, there's the video. And then here's the worksheet that goes along with the video. Okay, that's pretty much how all our shells are built for all online courses. They're all very similar to one another. There is some modifications, of course, but so I'm trying to think what else. So under the Start Here tab, one thing you need to make sure you remember, if your course is using Red Shelf, which we call Bingo Access, you need to add Bingo Access here. So do that before the first week. So you go to Add an Activity or a Resource, click on the External Tool, and I always call it Bingo Access because that's the name that they use now. And then under Pre-Configured Tool, you go down here to Red Shelf, and then Save and Display, okay? And that's going to add the Red Shelf tool. And remember, that's how we get the students get the access code come the first day of classes, okay? So that is it for how to begin modifying on My Courses. So just please reach out, come by my office if you have any questions, and I would be glad to help, okay?